Hi, I'm in Chiang Rai. I'm fighting tomorrow, fight 241, and we weighed in today, so we're here a little bit early, but I'm relaxed. It's nice. I was thinking about this thing. I actually wanted to do this vlog yesterday in response to my last day of training, but things got away from me and we were driving all day and things like that. But in my last day of training, Purnu's been making me do a lot of clinching and a lot of sparring, which is so good for me. I've been trying to get this amount of clinching and sparring for like the 5 years that I've been at the gym and the 7 years that I've been in Thailand, and it just never has materialized, especially all at one gym. So that's really, really good for me. But there's this interesting thing that was happening, which is going to require a little bit of background. So Purnu does this thing at Phetchabun, and you'll see it at other gyms also. But I really like the way he does it, which is it's hard sparring, but it's like a mock fight. So you try to create as many of the conditions around fighting as are possible. So you have people cheering, you have cornermen, you have like the real emotional escalations and noises and things of a fight while still, you know, wearing shin guards and not going 100% and things like this. But it gets pretty close to 100% at times. But you're not trying to like knock each other out. But it can get a little emotional. It's mainly for the less experienced fighters to get experience through their sparring. So it's not like just light technical, it is creating fight energies. And I did this a couple of times at Phetchabun way back in the day when I was first there with this kid Lam Choi, who outgrew me really fast. But they actually like stop everything happening at the gym and everyone gathers around the ring and watches like it's a real fight. So there's a heavy spectator portion to what this is meant to do. When Kevin and I installed lights at Phetchabun for the Muay Khao Summit last December, Purnu was excited about it because he could then turn them on like real stage lights for this mock fight sparring at the end of training, because he liked being able to like turn all the lights on and make it look even more like a real fight. Okay, so all of that is background. I don't do this mock sparring anymore. Mock fight sparring. Part of the reason is that I'm quite experienced already, 240 fights. But the real reason, I think, is because I definitely got way down on myself and emotionally couldn't really crack it many years ago. And so Pinu just stopped giving it to me, which is fair. And I've actually written about this many times in my blogs about how, like, you have to show that you want something, even if it's really hard for you, in order to keep getting it. So at the end of training, I was very tired. It's my last day of training before my fight, and Purnu had me do more sparring at the end of everything with Carabao. And it was only 3 rounds, but the last 2 rounds became this mock fight sparring. Everyone gathered around in the ring. Everyone was cheering and laughing and yelling things, and this kind of thing used to really bother me because nobody ever cheered for me. And I'm like this, where I'm like, how come you're helping my opponent and not me, blah, 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 like all kinds of emotional problems. So this is the first time I've done mock fight sparring in probably 3 years since I've been at the gym, 5 years. And I thought I handled it really well. The emotional pressures that it's meant to put on you were there. And even though I fought so many times, it was really, really good for me. So I'm proud of myself for having been put in that situation and handled it much differently than I would have years ago. And I'm stoked on that. It's just like a small growth that I'm being aware of. So that's my vlog.